Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris, and I'm a certified Galactic Astrology Soul Reader and Reiki Master Teacher. In today's video, we will be discussing and diving into the energies of the upcoming Taurus lunar eclipse on October 28th, 2023. Exploring this theme, the way of the divine feminine attractor, the lost art of receiving. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So the astronomers are calling this one a very shallow partial lunar eclipse. And I wanted to share with you an article and some pictures demonstrating more of exactly what that is. So it's a shallow partial lunar eclipse on October 28th. This is from EarthSky.com. And you can see in this photo exactly what region of the globe is going to be able to see visually the eclipse. And so that's a little bit of the eastern part of the Americas, all of Africa, Europe, Asia, and a bit of Australia as well. So not everybody, but some of you, let us know how it goes, what you can see. Here's another helpful diagram that shows what exactly makes this a partial versus a total lunar eclipse. And you see in this diagram, the sun, the earth, and the moon passing outside of the earth and actually entering part of the earth's shadow. And in this partial eclipse, it's not going all the way into the darkest, most dense part of the Earth's shadow. It's only kind of skimming through. So that's what makes it this shallow partial eclipse versus the total. And it's not considered a penumbral eclipse as far as I can tell either. Those only pass through this penumbra region. So it must be passing through at least a little bit of this umbra, I would think. And now what you're here for, tuning into the astrological energies of this lunar eclipse in Taurus. So even though it's shallow, my sense is it's no less powerful. And that's going to become apparent, especially as we look at some of the most significant and pronounced galactic alignments with this eclipse. So a lunar eclipse happens when there's a full moon. The solar eclipses happen when there's a new moon. And so what makes this a full moon is that we have the moon in Taurus here at the bottom part of the chart, completely opposite, 180 degrees apart from this beautiful sun in Scorpio. And so that's already interesting. Okay, it's activating the Taurus Scorpio axis. So you'll want to know, do you have any placements in Scorpio? Do you have any placements in Taurus? Find out which houses in your birth chart this is happening, and that can show you what part of your life is having the strongest impact, what areas of your life will be illuminated and highlighted at this time. So we see that both ends here of the full moon have some friends, okay? So this moon in Taurus is conjunct Jupiter. And so this is really expanding the Taurian energies. What are those energies? Taurus is fixed earth. So it's the slowest, densest of the zodiac signs. Really, really beautiful to tune into the earth, be still, be stable, be kind, be peaceful, be okay being on your own, centered in yourself, where you're calm and steady and relaxed and slowed down. This is Taurus. Taurus is also very sensual. So tuning into the five senses, having some good food, making yourself your favorite healthy smoothie, your favorite healthy salad, your favorite cozy tea, cuddling with a soft blanket, enjoying time in nature, tuning into the energies of nature, and really taking it easy. This is what that Taurus Taurus moon is all about. And conjunct Jupiter, it's like that's where the expansiveness is going to be. There, I see this as really wanting and inviting into that connection to the earth, to the feminine as well. So the sign of Taurus is ruled by planet Venus, and we see Venus is in Virgo, and we'll talk about her a little bit later, but she's in an earth sign too. So that really stresses this earth connection. Get grounded, get out in the garden, go to a park, visit the ocean, visit the lake, whatever body of water you are near, especially as the sun is in Scorpio, and this is a water sign. If you don't have some beautiful natural body of water to enjoy, draw yourself a really nourishing, detoxifying, purifying salt water, essential oil, smelling good bath, and really relax into that. That can be a way to work with this energy as well. The sun in Scorpio is not afraid to shine the light in dark places and spaces and reveal and bring into the light of conscious awareness whatever needs to be revealed. Scorpio is a sign that likes to go deep. So it's also fixed, and it's fixed water. So still water runs deep. This is water that runs so deep. I like to imagine the image of a wishing well. And in this full moon, you can put your wish into this well for your intentions. Plant a seed of intentions here. Scorpio is also about transmutation and transformation. So whatever is no longer serving your highest good, whatever is no longer working for you, you're going to be aware of it at this point in time. And the invitation is to let go, is to listen to your body. How does it feel in your body? What is your body telling you about a person, a relationship, a situation? Whatever the case may be, what food you're choosing, really small, simple things, right? Make changes and choices accordingly. What's coming up for you? Can you be in the fire of that transformation? We don't have a whole lot of energy and fire right now. However, we do still have the north node of the moon in Aries and Chiron in Aries. So being okay sitting in the fire and in the intensity of whatever is being revealed this full moon will really serve you. And understanding that there's a way to allow this purification process to be gentle and smooth and easy and for your highest good, and actually quite quick too, so that whatever's coming up can pass through quickly and you can move on into whatever is next, and moving on not as a spiritual bypass, but actually being liberated from whatever it was that was needing that transmutation and that alchemical process to take place. So moon over here with Jupiter, and also we have the sun in Scorpio conjunct Mercury and Mars. They are separating from the sun. So Mercury and Mars would have already conjuncted the sun, but they're still in that realm, in that region where it's all kind of a bunch of energy all blending together. So I'm really seeing this as a moment of insight. It's Mercury. What is coming up mentally? What's coming up mentally that needs to be cleared and let go of? But also what insights and realizations, revelations are coming up for you? Write them down. Make a note. Don't just let them pass by, but actually understand what changes are happening in your belief systems that are going to benefit you long term. And with Mars here as well, it's like, I think whatever these insights that come into your awareness are, they will be actionable. So Mars is going to want to carry them out slowly but surely and as efficiently as possible to, as strategically and as focused, because Mars in Scorpio is also very, very focused. So I think this is quite helpful. It can also, at a lower level expression, come up with harsh words being exchanged, aggressiveness, Mercury, Mars, our mind, our communication with Mars, god of war, this masculine energy. And also the lower expression of the moon, Jupiter, can be like overindulgence, taking it too far, just not moving at all, right? And I mean, if you're called to just be still and stable for this one, trust your guidance, okay? Trust your intuition. The intuitive capacities are going to be very, very highlighted. And that is also the case because Pluto is still square the nodes of the moon, north node of the moon in Aries, inviting us into our independence, our discernment, our clarity, our directness of just, I am presence. I am carrying this out. This is what I'm here to do. This is how I'm here to be. And I'm okay being a pioneer and being bold and showing up the way I am. Pluto squaring also this south node of the moon in Libra, that's showing us everything we don't want to see in our relationships, how we relate to others, and inviting us into a higher level expression of Libra that's all about peace and beauty and balance and aesthetics and art and justice and fairness and right relationship with all that is. Pluto in a square to these nodes that have to do with our collective destiny, but also in a square to the full moon itself. Okay, so Pluto is also squaring this moon in Taurus and the sun in Scorpio. So this is really amplifying the transit we've been experiencing most of this year with Pluto squared the nodes, having this full moon. So kind of like whatever all of that has been bringing up and been building these past months, really, I think this eclipse is a moment to kind of, have the insight. This is what's been shifting for me. This is what's been transmuting for me. This is what I've been alchemizing, and next level realization. And sometimes when those insights come in, it's really like, oh, duh, this is so obvious, right? I know I have that happen time and time again, how simple it is. It's like, oh my God, are you serious? Like this, wow, okay, yeah, that's it. I think this is a moment of really having a greater kind of retrospective awareness of whatever the heck you've been up to these past months, at least since July, even looking back into June as well, when Pluto was squaring the nodes of the moon when they were still in Taurus and Scorpio. So I think there's going to be awareness here. I think this is still like carrying quite a lot of tension that I think many of us are just coming to be used to. But this can feel especially tense. I know myself, I've felt more tension in my body since this Aries full moon that we had in September. So this full moon, this eclipse feels like a secondary, yet another hit on the gong of the full moon. Like the Pisces full moon led to the Aries full moon, led to this now Taurus full moon. And I think you see that also with the galactic alignments, because the Aries full moon was aligned with the super galactic center. And as we'll get into in a few moments, this particular eclipse is also aligned to a supracosmic point. In addition to this tension caused by this T-square we are all really living with, we have another kite formation. So we've had many of these in the lunations recently. And so this kite is made by the outer planets all being in this lovely grand sextile. So Pluto now direct in Capricorn, trine to Uranus retrograde in Taurus, sextile Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Neptune sextile Pluto in Capricorn. So all of these making this smaller triangle. And then we have Venus here at the tail of the kite in a trine to Uranus. approaching the exact trine to Uranus. So a few days after this eclipse, she will make the exact trine to Uranus. So this can give you a preview of what's to come in a few days too, as to what this Uranus trine Venus energy is. And this can be like unusual creativity, insightfulness, new relationships, out of the box ways of working with the earth and with others, out of the box and progressive, innovative ways of healing too, as Venus is in Virgo. And kind of Age of Aquarius healing and priestess type of rituals and ceremonies as well. Venus is also coming into her exact trine with Pluto. So after this eclipse, she will make a trine, exact and perfect her trine with Uranus. And then in the subsequent days, she will perfect her trine with Pluto. But as of the moment of this eclipse, it's already there. It's already activated. And so Venus in Virgo then is opposite Neptune. And again, this is an aspect that will perfect in the days following the eclipse. So when there is a kite like this, it's a moment of initiation. There's a moment here where we have the opportunity to now master another psycho-spiritual function. I mean, I see this so clearly as Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, the three outermost planets, facilitating shamanically this experience. And we've seen different other planets and bodies pass the same point. So it's like Venus is kind of the last one in the train here coming into this position, other than the moon, which passes through this position every single month. So Mercury's already been there, Mars has already been there, the sun's already been there, but now we have Venus. And what is Venus? Venus is this divine feminine function. She's the attraction principle within us. She is our ability to receive and create and relate and really just be connected in our bodies, be connected to the earth, be connected to all that is. She is our mundane love, our worldly love. And when we're on a spiritual path, she's also our divine love. And that's what's so interesting here with her opposite Neptune. Neptune is divine love. Neptune is said to be the higher octave of Venus. So these two being in aspect together, it's like we have the mundane, we have the day-to-day, we have that embodied level of love, relational love, in aspect with our connection to the divine, our connection to all that is. So this is a really, really beautiful moment where we are super invited by the eclipse being in Taurus, ruled by Venus, and Venus being at the kite of the tail of this kite. And when there is a kite, we're really focusing on that tail, integrating the function of that tail. So be feminine, be receiving, be creative, be still, be quiet, be listening, be really, really listening. Venus is our listening. She's our receiving. She's tuned into the subtle whisperings of the universe. And in Virgo, these are going to be really practical whisperings. They're going to be whisperings for our highest good as well, and helping each of us step into a greater, more authentic, truer next level of whatever our service is in this life, whatever our soul intentions are in this life. So incredibly beautiful and supportive. We have another aspect pattern I will mention here. It's a mystic rectangle. So it's involving both ends of the full moon here. Moon Jupiter in a trine, a harmonious flow of energy to Black Moon Lilith here in the early degrees of Virgo. And then Lilith is opposite Saturn in Pisces in that 0th in the first degree of Pisces, really, really strong, and about to station direct as well in early November. And Saturn is in trine to this sun in Scorpio. So we see it makes a rectangle here with two oppositions. So it looks like a rectangle with this X in the middle, this red X, like a closed envelope. And so there's a lot of tension on the inside. Okay, there's a lot of tension. We've talked about the tension of the full moon. Those are always these intense, illuminating moments. But Black Moon Lilith opposite Saturn, this is really interesting because Saturn is the authority, the law, the structure, the order, the man. And on a spiritual path, it's your inner authority. It's your inner learning as you internalize. And Saturn doesn't have to be some authority outside of yourself so much as it's that part of you that knows who you are, what's best for you, and how to make it happen. Black Moon Lilith representing kind of the underside of the feminine, the part of the feminine that is strong and not submissive and completely free-spirited and liberated and not going to submit to Saturn, frankly. She may or may not take whatever Saturn's advice is. And when these two psycho-spiritual functions are integrated in a healthy way, this feminine part that's not submitting to external authority is in harmony with one's inner authority and is not then creating problems with authority, but in an unhealthy, lower expression. This Lilith is having all kinds of authority issues with Saturn. So something to be aware of here. And what's helpful is that this inner tension is facilitated by all these blue lines, these harmonious aspects showing a lot of potential, a lot of talents, a lot of gifts here as well. So the end goal here, what happens, the result, so to speak, is inner harmony, is, open up whatever is in this envelope. Don't be afraid to sit with it. Don't bypass it. There is a gift inside. There's a message inside. What is that message? You're not going to get it unless you take some time to be still, to tune into your heart. Breathe, ground, be stable, listen, allow, and just be there. Be there and be present and receive whatever this mystic rectangle wants to reveal to you. So now I want to show you the galactic chart for the eclipse. And we see this is very galactically aligned. These are just the conjunct and opposite alignments. And this chart is made from galacticastrochart.com, where you can make a free chart like this for your birthday, for whatever day you want to make a chart for. So we see with the outer planets, a lot of the same alignments I've been talking about in the latest updates. We see Chiron still interacting with Cetus, Lilith, with Piscis Austrinus, Pluto, with Canis Minor, Procyon, Neptune with Pegasus, Uranus with Centaurus, Saturn with Leo, and Jupiter now just with Crux, okay? Mars also working with Crux, Acrux star and Crux constellation. Mercury also working with Acrux star and Crux constellation. So in a moment, I will talk more about these alignments with Crux. We also see that the nodes of the moon, as I've been sharing in these updates, are still aligned to Virgo constellation, Spica star, amazing star, and also Boots constellation, Arcturus star. So I'm not going to talk about those energies. I will discuss what's really interesting here is that the eclipse itself is aligned to Shapley Attractor. So the sun is conjunct to Shapley Attractor. The moon is opposite Shapley Attractor. The sun is also conjunct Syrma star in Virgo, and the moon is opposite Syrma star in Virgo. Before we get into those galactic energies, I want to just bring some awareness to the Sabian symbols for both the moon and the sun. So the moon at 5 and some minutes of Taurus, we round up to 6 Taurus, and we see the symbol is a cantilever bridge across a deep gorge. The conquest of separativeness through group cooperation. The person who has suffered deprivation and loneliness can give new substance to his or her emotional life by participating in a collective project. All great evolutionary challenges imply the overcoming of basic difficulties. A step ahead must be taken, yet an abyss confronts evolving man. It is no longer a personal void, an open grave, but a chasm that is an integral part of the land upon which man's evolution must proceed. A link must be built through the power of the collective mind of the group or of the community at large on the basis of the legacy of the past to make a bridge over the canyon. This is the first stage of the 8th fivefold process of substantiation. The man-made bridge, built with collective skill, gives substance to and demonstrates man's capacity to conquer obstacles and to achieve evolutionary continuity as well as expansion in space. So incredibly powerful symbol here of the bridge. Okay, and the Galactic Heritage card that really came up and resonated with this symbol for the moon, what our invitation is this card called Community, Association of Worlds, Parallel Timeline. Okay, so this sense of we are all one humanity, we are all one with the totality of the earth, the plant nations, divine animal kingdom, the crystal and mineral kingdom, all of life on earth, the consciousness of the earth, the consciousness of the solar system, the consciousness of the Milky Way galaxy, the consciousness of what is beyond the Milky Way galaxy, and really an opportunity to feel into your connection to your soul group, your soul family, those etheric soul connections that you may be aware of. You're probably already coming into greater awareness of those connections in this lifetime and how you've been working together through what we perceive as time on these projects on Earth with the best of intentions, right? On Earth and off Earth, but right now for this lifetime on Earth, and how many obstacles you've already overcome, and how many obstacles may still be there to face. You know, that's why we keep coming back, because there's always more. And I see this bridge as a bridge to your soul, to your spirit, to those deeper, truer parts of yourself. I see this also as the bridge of light, the bridge into the enlightened realms of consciousness, those higher levels of consciousness that I like to evoke and invoke in my Reiki journey. So there will be a Reiki journey for this eclipse that I release closer to the eclipse. So this is a really beautiful invitation. It's a beautiful invitation to connect to your community, to connect to your soul family, your soul tribe. And if you don't feel yet connected to them, just be in that frequency where you imagine they are. And I assure you, they will be there for you. I recently had the realization that there can be a belief that you're not already connected to your soul family and to those, you know, your galactic community, however you want to look at it, your earth community, not really feeling that connection, and how that really is just a thought. You know, it's just a belief. It's not a fact. And so I see this eclipse as potentially being a healing of that belief of your separateness and an understanding of that oneness, and that you are connected, you're always connected, and you're always attracting in the people that you need, the relationships and connections that you need. And again, this we'll say more about this with the Shapley Attractor. So I'll also share here the Sabian symbol for the sun. So 6 Scorpio, the gold rush tears men away from their native soil. The passionate search for new values, which at any level promises a more abundant life. The greatness of man is that he can always be greater. Likewise, at a national level, man's greed can more easily be aroused by whatever promises more wealth, more power, and ever greater achievements at all levels, spiritual as well as material. Beyond this arousal of greed is the deep-seated desire to play a more important or spectacular role in one's society or community. Greed is the perverse intensification of the social sense, just as lust is the perverse intensification of the longing for love. Always at this Scorpio level, the yearning is for an ever more intense and all-absorbing union with a person or a community, a yearning which motivates a search for more effectual means to achieve as total a feeling experience as is possible. This is the first stage of the 44th sequence of symbolic phases in the cycle of existence. It dramatizes the capacity in man to tear himself away from the known and the familiar, gambling everything on a vision or dream. A key word could be avidity. So at a lower level expression, this of course can be greed. It can be a perversion and distortion of the masculine. It can be this desire for more. And I think the invitation here with this symbol and where the sun is to be in gratitude, to realize the richness of what you already have, appreciate what you have, make that gratitude list so that you are not in that greed, scarcity, separation, fear, lack mentality. You're actually at a higher vibrational frequency. You're in appreciation. You're in gratitude. You appreciate what you have. Maybe it's not the luxurious lifestyle or the what is considered wealthy or successful in the eyes of others, but doesn't match your value system. Don't compare yourself to others. Appreciate what you have and what you've created for yourself, and really be in integrity with that. I was also guided to this Galactic Heritage card by Lisa Royal Holt of Leap of Faith, the Orion galactic race, and the present time frame. Because the gold rush was one of those moments where it was such a big opportunity and people just jumped on it. So what opportunities are coming up for you? What leap of faith are you being called to? This also is like Pluto square this eclipse as well. What action are you being called to take or make? What action have you maybe already taken that represented this huge leap of faith? Is there another leap of faith you're being asked to make? Is it maybe you've already leapt, but you still need some faith, right? So be with that and see what comes through about that. What is your leap of faith this lunar eclipse? This right here is why, even though it's a quote unquote shallow partial lunar eclipse, does not make me think it's any less powerful, potent, transformational. Okay. Everything I've already shared shows us how powerful it is. But this is like really, really powerful here because we have the sun and the moon in a very strong alignment with Shapley Attractor. The sun conjunct Shapley Attractor, the moon opposite. Doesn't get any more intense than that. So what is Shapley Attractor for those who may be less familiar? It is, I'm just going to take you kind of out to it, right? So we have the Earth that orbits around the sun in the solar system. We have the solar system that orbits in the Milky Way galaxy around the center of the Milky Way galaxy, which is called the Galactic Center. Supermassive black hole, very powerful. This is in the degrees of Sagittarius. Then we have the Milky Way galaxy amongst another galactic cluster of 30 or so other galaxies that are all orbiting in the field of this even more supermassive black hole, the supergalactic center, which in our zodiac is in the degrees of Libra. Then that whole region, this whole galactic cluster, is among an area of space called Laniakea, which means immense, immeasurable heaven in Hawaiian. It's our galactic neighborhood, huge area of space, all being drawn towards the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor also created that whole cosmic neighborhood. All right, we don't even really know what the Great Attractor is. Could be a black hole, could be a bunch of black holes, could be something else entirely. Shapley Attractor is much like the Great Attractor, but even bigger, more powerful, and extremely mysterious as well. And you can see it in this lower diagram that Shapley is attracting this whole region. So like the immense area being attracted, being created, and then attracted back into the Great Attractor looks tiny compared to the cosmic neighborhood that Shapley is both the source, the creator of, and also the attraction principle, drawing it all back into oneness, into coming back into home, right? This is like unification with the source. Oh, we all went out, we pioneered, we went separate, we discovered new worlds, we became all these different forms, and then we're coming right back into source. Shapley is in the early degrees of Scorpio, so you can look in your chart. Do you have anything around 2 degrees of Scorpio? And you will have an alignment with Shapley. What I see this really inviting us into is our ability to listen, our ability to receive, our ability to purge. Okay, so whatever is coming up for us, whatever is transmuting and transforming, just let it go. Give it to Shapley. Give it to Shapley. Can take it. You know, Shapley is like the source. It's extremely powerful. It's extremely vast. Is that transmutational, pure consciousness, energy transformer principle. Okay, this is why whatever insights and downloads you're getting with Mercury conjunct the sun, you can trust these. You know, these are coming from source. These could be really galactic insights from different parts of you that are incarnated in what we would perceive to be very far away. You can integrate and embody and be in conscious communion with those parts of yourself that knows the secrets of the universe. So much of that can come into your awareness, and those parts of yourself can really help you bring and embody more balance and feeling not so alone in all of this, more whole. What I see this really as is inviting a greater sense of wholeness with yourself as a multidimensional being, as a multi-galactic being, as a being with all these parallel expressions. This can really alter your sense of time and space. I mean, remember, it's trine Saturn and Pisces. That could be part of the message of this mystic rectangle, is like your perception and understanding and experience of time totally shifts and morphs in a really cool way. And your experience and perception and understanding of yourself also shifts in a really amazing way, really unexpected, really powerful and magical, expansive way, that you're then with your mind, your mindset can shift and accommodate that. Your communications can shift and accommodate that. And your Mars function as well, the masculine function, can actually enact this new level of authenticity that you are carrying. that you are embodying. So really take some time this eclipse to empty out, be still, be open, be with the automatic writing here too, with Mercury, the automatic channeling, speaking, however it works for you. This is a wonderful time to experiment with some of that. So it's also aligned to Syrma star in Virgo. So we see Virgo constellation, the harvest goddess, and the star is in her lower leg, like near her ankle. Okay. And this is a star I really have not worked with much. So this is an invitation here to learn more about what this star means. I'll just be honest with you. And so with Virgo constellation in and of itself, it has to do with the feminine, with the receiving, with our connection to the earth, with our right relationship, with our purity, our virginity, our innocence, our beauty, our fertility to create, to appreciate, to be grateful of what we have. So this is really interesting. Looking at Astrology King's interpretation of this particular star, he mentions responsibility. So responsibility with the heights that you achieve, the influence that you have, whatever you're attaining. So having great responsibility and integrity. Also seeking forgiveness for yourself, forgiving others, forgiving kind of the world for the state of affairs and state of being as well. It's also associated with the tarot trump, the Empress. This is Virgo constellation. I'll just read you a line from Astrology King. So this constellation is indicative of an abundance and harvest and a fruitfulness of agriculture in general. But when prominent in the charts of eclipses, it portends events concerning kings, heads of state, and in this regard can be an ill omen indeed. So on a mundane level, we may see interesting events involving heads of state and powerful leaders. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. At a personal level, there could be abundance. There could be a harvest of sorts. So be on the lookout for that. It may not look like, you just get a bunch of cash money or something like it could be, but it might be abundance in a different way, a different form of a harvest. So be really open to that. And I think with all of this, it's like law of attraction. Keep your vibration high because the attraction energies are high. And the higher your vibe is, really cultivate and caretake your vibe so it's as high as possible. And you are attracting in exactly what you want to attract in. And maybe not even just what you want, but what is for your highest good. And the form of that highest good taking, this is what I always ask for: easy, smooth, fun, blissful, graceful, beautiful, magical, synchronistic, because I don't want my highest good feeling like, a hammer, like really hard, hit me in the face. Oh my gosh, it's so difficult. Because I believe those kinds of things are for our highest good too. But my preference and my prayer is for attracting in for my highest good in a really beautiful, harmonious, enjoyable, delightful way. And this is a Venus ruled eclipse, so we're allowed to ask for that. We're allowed to ask for it to be delightful and enjoyable. This is Venus, okay? So tuning in here to the super highlighted energies of Acrux star and Crux constellation. I've showed y'all this one before. So Crux constellation is this cross that's underneath Centaurus, the centaur with his arrow going in for the kill there. And so Crux only has a few stars here. It's a southern hemisphere constellation, so not as common and prominent in the northern skies at this time, but for our southern hemisphere folks, they are familiar, and this is a wonderful energy to tune into. So, what is Crux linked to? Well, with Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter aligned to Crux, we are going to find out, right? If you don't already know, you're going to find out. So, what I have understood about this particular constellation and this particular star is that it has to do with our intuition, our preference for the occult, our mystical and magical and alchemical talents. It's about trusting our intuition, letting it lead. Mars conjunct Mercury, the two eyes becoming one, the third eye, you might have even more opening and intensification of your psychic senses and your clairsenses at this time. When this is highlighted in the natal chart, these people are very clairvoyant often, or very clairsentient. They have innate, natural clair abilities that often get shut down and then they tune back into them. So this can be an amplification of those abilities for each of us. There's a lot of deep inner power here as well with Jupiter and Taurus, because Mercury and Mars are going to fly by their conjunction to Acrux, but Jupiter has been interacting with Acrux for a while. And when it goes direct, it's going to cross Acrux again. So this is something that's really developing. And with Jupiter, we can learn it. It's going to expand. It's going to grow. Acrux star is also about liberating the martyr archetype. These individuals are on a mission. These individuals are willing to be crucified, willing to die on the cross. It's serious work that they signed up for on this lifetime. They are fully committed. And there's often a sense of very strong light warriorship with Acrux star. And in this lifetime, it's not about being a martyr. That's not this paradigm. That's age of Pisces. We're now entering or already in the very early stages of age of Aquarius, where we're being asked to be more light bringers and light bearers. So that's a learning and a shift that we're invited to make at this time. So very highlighted our inner access to occult knowledge and truth, and our inner authority and inner truth revealed. And I mean, that's Saturn and Pisces as well with this mystic triangle configuration. Two cards that I wanted to bring in here. This is from Divining with the Dragons by Araya Anra. Is this beautiful lapis dragon. The lapis dragon having to do with inner expansion, surrender, and self-awareness. So a lot of intuition, a lot of trust, a lot of becoming aware of what's been hidden, and really surrendering to that highest good, that highest principle, not dismissing what's coming up, but valuing it, valuing your own inner knowing. And again, with Archangel Uriel, trust here. This is an oracle card from the Angels of Atlantis by Stuart Pearce. And this card is really sharing with us this trust. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. This is Taurus. I trust myself. I am. I know. I embody. And that can get exaggerated into a stubbornness, right? And a fixedness in one's beliefs. But many of us are more along the lines of needing to trust ourselves more, trust our inner voice more, trust our inner soul directive more, and allow that to guide our lives. And understand that when we are allowing that to guide our lives and it's not matching the courses that others are taking or the expectations others may be placing upon us, or we perceive others to be placing upon us, that's okay. Trust your intuition, let it lead. That's what you're here to do. That's how you're here to be. That is the medicine of Age of Aquarius. And in the Age of Aquarius, we're in communities of similar frequencies where more and more people are living that way, as opposed to external authorities dictating how we are living our lives and dictating how we think, how we relate to our minds and our emotions, and also our behaviors. So thank you so much for being here today. There's a lot more I could talk about, but I think this is a long enough video. If you would like to connect deeper, soul to soul, spirit to spirit, please reach out. My website, taylornorrisreiki.com. I offer Galactic Astrology Soul Readings, astrological consultations, Reiki sessions one-on-one, as well as Reiki classes. There's an upcoming Reiki 1 and 2 class in October 21st to 22nd, and a Reiki Masterclass coming up in December if you're interested in learning in the Holy Fire World Peace Reiki lineage. And every month I hold a free new moon Reiki share, so you're always welcome and invited to attend those as well. Every single new moon, no matter your experience or lack of experience with Reiki. I appreciate you so much for being here. If you're here, your soul family, and I love you, and I wish you the most blessed, beautiful, magical Taurus lunar eclipse 2023. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.